Welcome, welcome, welcome to One Take Wine. What are we even doing here? This time I'm staying with Chanterev because I was disappointed in the last tasting I had of theirs, the Alex Corton Premier Cru, and at the same time in between I've tried their Paris L'Hôpital in 2022, which I did a video note on the 2021, and I haven't done one on the 2022 yet. I'm still just as impressed with them. I think those are wonderful cuvées. I need a tiebreaker. And this is it. It's a 2019 Pommard. I bought it because I was thinking I might match it up with a Skyason Pommard, but I don't want to do that. I want to take this one on its own. I want to form an overall impression of Chanterev. Is it going to be something for me to pursue, or is it going to be something for me to leave behind? I don't know. Guess we'll see. Let's get her on. What do we got in the glass? Look at that color. You can see it's quite light. It's quite a light Pommard. It's not bricking or anything, but it's not purple. Pale, but a very burgundy color. Not just the wine, but the color. It's not a shiny wine, you know, so it's got that little bit of the light goes to die in there type thing. I'm at the end of this bottle, so maybe you can even see throwing sediment already. Very nice. 2019. Okay, fruit-wise, we're talking very, very ripe strawberries. Deliciously dark. It's a moody sort of sweetness to it. It has this kind of a good time of year for it because it feels very earthy. It's less mineral and much more sort of packed earth, you know, boots in the mud on a hunting trip or something like that. But then that gorgeous of sweet strawberry. It's lovely. It's sweet strawberry in a room where there's that sort of leftover tinge of tobacco smoke, but in a good way. It's a medium length wine. It's not a super long one. Fairly tannic, a bit drying in the tannin section of it towards the finish. But not at all up front. It's a very juicy wine, and it's a very saturating wine. It's kind of intensely packed with flavor. There's some beautiful bitterness to it too, some rosemary or something like that, or thyme, you know, some bitter green herb that kind of lifts it and freshens it up a bit, especially considering it's a less mineral wine, I think, in my opinion. This is miles ahead of the Alex Corton Premier Cru. It's a little bit more in line with the Paris L'Hôpital bottling, which is very, very light. This has got way more heft to it than that. But at the same time, it's a lightness and a heaviness all at the same time, working together, very, very complementary that way, you know, this kind of light touch, but very, very, it's like going out in the rain on those days when it doesn't seem like there's very much out there, but you're out for 2 minutes and you're soaked. You know, it's one of those things. On the palate, at least. Superlative wine. Lots of tea. Lots of dark tea. The fruit really lingers. The tannin is kind of, it gives it away as a Pommard, if anything. So it's kind of nice. It's linked to where it comes from. Although it's not as severe as a lot of young Pommards can be. And it's probably not as light on its feet as, for instance, a Skyason. I love this new style these winemakers are bringing to this part of Burgundy, because this part of Burgundy gets ignored because it often has an old school type of approach to it, which gets very heavy and very little tannic and a little bit cellar and root vegetable kind of feel to it, which is not everybody's cup of tea. In fact, I think it's a pretty unpopular style of wine. I mean, unless you really like that kind of thing. I've been told before that if I don't like those types of wines, then I'm not a true Burgundy lover. I don't accept that assessment, but, you know, to each their own. Yeah, a gorgeous wine. This is the kind of wine I would like to drink lots of and share with friends. It's really good. I'm really happy to have discovered these guys. Especially, I mean, I like the Paris L'Hôpital for the lightness of it and its intensity, and this has that same approach. Whereas the Alex Corton just felt flat. It felt like it was missing that lightness and intensity. It was just sort of in between and not really getting anywhere. That could have something to do with the vintage. This is a 2019. So, I mean, a 2019, look at that label. Once again, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Nice to have it with a few years too. So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of spoiled today. So, what have we learned? Well, I personally have learned that I like Chanterev. Chanterev is a great producer of Burgundy, especially Burgundies in my style, which is to say, Burgundies that have a lot of life to them, a lot of intensity to them. I like wines that are intense. Now, the Pommard, I mean, just in general, Pommard tend to be a little earthier, a little rootier, you could say. And this has elements of that. I mean, it is more along those lines. It does have a darker sort of shadow than, say, the Skyhausen. I think this is a well-made wine. It's super balanced. They're not terribly long, but they're not Premier Cru either. They're village wines. I think you're getting more than your money's worth with this, especially if you can get them at release prices. I'm probably paying twice as much as what this was released at. But at the same time, I've got to get out there and try new producers, right? There's a lot of years that I stopped buying wine because it got too expensive, especially in Burgundy. For instance, it's almost impossible to buy a Grand Cru anymore and drink it young. I have to be more willing to open up to the Vin Nature crowd and to the producers, and to be a little bit more, have to be a little bolder in my attempts to find value in Burgundy. Yeah, I highly recommend them. I'm going to keep purchasing them despite my setback with the Alex Corton. I think that was probably a one-off. It could have been the vintage. It's more likely the terroir. I don't think it's a very good terroir, and I probably bought it because it was a Premier Cru. This is a much better wine. It's much more composed. It's much better balanced, and it has some technique to it. You can feel that there's an energy to it, right? All great Burgundies have an energy sort of underlying everything in them, and this has it. So, I don't know, what are you buying these days? Are you still buying Burgundy? Are you moving past the classic producers? Have you always been a Vin Nature lover? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you again soon. And hey, until then, stay thirsty.